Hey YouTube, it's Dark Helmet here, and I'm going to give my review for Lone Survivor, which came out on Friday. I'm going to start doing some movie reviews as I see them. I won't be every week like a lot of YouTubers. I'm not here to build my channel, just here to give me something to do so that I feel like I'm contributing in some way to the YouTubeverse. I don't know. Maybe these videos will become more interactive, like some of the more popular channels. I don't want to be like anybody. I want to do my own thing. So this is brand new to me, and as you can see, my equipment isn't that good. My mic isn't that good, so who knows what will happen with that. Um, but into the review we go. So Peter Berg's new film is The Lone Survivor. It made over $38 million opening weekend, which is actually very excellent for an R-rated movie in January. I think that Americans flocked to the theaters this weekend to see this film about five courageous men who served in our Navy SEALs unit in Afghanistan during the heat of the Afghanistan war, um, to see what it might have been like for them. This was one of America's most costly battles as far as men lost in one day due to an RPG rocket attack that hits one of the transport helicopters during the mission. Um, that was an unfortunate end to the operation, which was actually something that would have been a turning point in the war. They were actually tasked in finding the leader of Al Qaeda, who had taken over from Bin Laden, Al Zawahiri, who was based in a mountain Afghanistan base that was deep in the Afghanistan mountains, and the SEAL team had to hike about 10 miles in the mountains just to get to their operating point. So the movie begins with these five men in basic training for the Navy SEALs, which is actually intense. If you've never seen Navy SEAL training on the Discovery Channel or Military Network, please give yourself a few hours to catch a couple of those episodes, because these men go through some crazy intense training that no normal people can go through. I think most normal people would quit after even the first day. But these men make it through 30 days of hell, and once they make it through, they're a Marine Navy SEAL for life, and um, it's a brotherhood. And I think Peter Berg's intense action and cinematography work in this film were made so that you can see why that brotherhood is so important to these men, because they're fighting for each other. Really, I know they're fighting for their country, but they're fighting back to back and side to side. Each one of them gets shot like 5 or 6 times, and each of them continues to push forward and fight on, giving each other cover fire while someone has to go higher up so they can make radio calls, because the communication is all jacked up since it's in the mountains. Even in this day and age in 2006, the communication in uh, the remote areas of Afghanistan are still very spotty at best, even with military hardware. Um, this film will be very intense for most viewers. There are some scenes where your jaw is just dropped, or you might cover your mouth at like all of the intense action that you're seeing, because uh, it doesn't hold back. Very few films are as brutally honest with how a battle might be portrayed in a film as this one. Saving Private Ryan and the Black Hawk Down films are two that come to mind. And this film will be added to that list as far as military history films that are in that genre. Um, I really enjoyed this film. I thought that Peter Berg did an excellent job. A few key points that I'd like to point out was a couple of shots that really caught my attention by the cinematographer. Involves following a helicopter as it was going to Bagram's Air Base, and a drone was following right behind it. I don't know if it was CGI or if it was the drone remote camera, which I think it was the drone remote camera. The helicopter looked really very realistic, so kudos to the CGI guys if it was CGI. But I think it was a drone remote helicopter drone following right behind the real helicopter, which was a really cool shot. And then the way they set up the crazy 45-minute battle at the end was, I don't know how the editors kept that all together, but man, it just flowed and kept going, and I can't understand the amount of work that must have gone through. And the sound design in the movie is just so well done. You constantly hear the bullets all around you. When the RPGs come through, you can hear the stream of the jet from the missile, and it goes from one sound of the theater to the other, and so they just did a real excellent job as far as that. The acting could have been a little bit better, honestly. The acting I didn't think was that uh, great. It wasn't horrible, like I've heard from other films that came out this weekend, such as the Hercules movie, which I think did like $8 million over the weekend, which is on a $70 million budget, not very good. Um, but I don't think people are going to see this film for the acting. They're going to see the film for the story and for the bravery and the courage that this film portrays, that the men actually lived through, as this is loosely based on a true story. Well, most of that, I think they didn't take too many Hollywood liberties with the true story aspect, is like they did with the Captain Phillips movie, which I heard they did a lot of Hollywood spin on that film. Um, so I hope you guys go to see the film and support it, so that Hollywood will make more positive movies uh, showing off our military heroes and giving us reasons to support what our military does. Even though we say we do, films like this really give us visual, uh, I guess, a visual uh, correspondence to what we read about in the paper, as far as the news and reports that come through on a daily basis. So thank you, Peter Berg, for making this film. I hope you win tons of awards this award season for the way this film was put together. And this is a new review for me. I'm gonna start doing these on a more regular basis as I go see films. I'm not gonna see them every weekend because I don't see crappy movies. So don't expect these to come up every week. Um, Help me come up with a name if you want. I don't have a name for this channel right now. It's just my old username, JaceMaxwell77. My gamer tag is DRKHelmet on Xbox, so I might change my channel on YouTube to that to match my Dark Helmet username. So do with that as you will. As far as any comments below, hit those comments up, and I'll talk to you guys next film. Anyway, peace. Peace. There you go. Bye.